Kia ora, this program is brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Wellington Access Radio, make your voice heard.
Hi, and welcome back to the Black House. How are you? I'm in the station here with Modi and with Onkyo. She's on the socials.
Yeah.
How are you, Onkyo?
Good, very good. Good to be back.
Hey, I just want to catch people up on what's been happening in the last couple of weeks. You know, like, I didn't mention it last week because I was on air by myself.
Oh, yeah. How did it go?
Wow. You know, like, things are so sensitive and I'm so not a tech-savvy person, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of think I am. I'm sort of the person that will go around and push all the buttons when I think I can restart my computer, but actually I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to push buttons.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of dangerous like that. Don't let me near computers when they break down, like PCs break down. I just get a little bit.
That's scary.
Yeah, I am a little bit scary. I could crash everything, and think that, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm reading these instructions. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it was good. I actually liked it. I like playing all the music.
Well, I'm actually very happy for you for what you're doing now, you know. Try to do those mixing DJ things yourself. That's pretty awesome. Yo, if you guys didn't know that, Leah today, she is our DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, she mixes up all the sounds and everything. So, yeah, I'm really proud to see a woman doing those things, you know. That's really awesome. I love that.
So I just wanted to catch people up on what's been going on in the last month.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I want to give a big shout out to the Black Leak girls for the Valentine's party. You know how they were practicing at home on the DJ equipment and basically I think they did a really good job.
Are they?
Yeah, well, you didn't come, did you?
No, I missed out.
Oh, my God. No, I thought Miss Rosalind, I'm telling you, Miss Rosalind was the most stunning thing in the room. I've got to say a big shout out to Miss Rosalind in the beautiful blue outfit.
Wow.
And also, you know, the girls behind the DJ booth and the dancing and just really taking charge of the thing. I was just really impressed.
It's
you know, that they they got into that whole event management thing and just did it. And I'm really looking forward. Oh, and the cupcakes. They did baking. Yeah, they had a whole table because it's a Valentine's party, XOXO Valentine's party, right? So there was a whole table with cupcakes and chocolate and lollies and a big chocolate cake with a heart on it, and you know they just went the extra mile. And I think that's the really attractive thing about women actually taking care of event managing, doing events. They bring this feminine touch.
Oh, it's good to hear that.
Yeah, feminine touch to the whole thing. And the girls really, they put in the effort to get dressed up, and it was just a production. And I really liked it. The venue really liked it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when we closed up, it closed up early, but, you know, it was only the bar was only open till 1.
Oh.
But, you know, the bar's really happy to have them again if they want to. And that's really important, you know, building those networks and stuff like that.
It's good to see actually the young girls, you know, pick it up and do something. So,
yeah, I really like that.
I miss out, but
yeah, you should have come down.
Good.
Yeah, there was young girls, there was old girls. We're all there putting in the effort. Yay, yay us. And there was only one thing. Okay, there was one thing. but it had nothing to do with
Is
Black
that
Elite.
a wrong one or a good one?
It was like a no common sense one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know who the people were, but they were bringing alcohol into the venue. Like, who does that?
Oh, that's an old
Like, if
school, man.
You know, like, if you're having an event in a licensed premise, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Use your common sense. You don't go walking in there with bottles of something tucked down your panties. You know, I don't know where they fitted them. You know, because all you young ones are into those skinny clothes, unless they were trying to shove bottles down their pants to make, you know, put on an impression or something. I don't know. I don't know where they hid them. But here's the thing. Don't do stupid things, and we can keep doing events, yeah?
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's... but overall, look, those girls, they did up the venue. There was a whole group of them that came together and did that. And, yeah, me and Munya helped them set up.
Yeah.
And, DJ... Jamal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we know him as Jarrells. But he came through and checked the sound and everything. There was just this really good effort, and I'm really impressed with Jarrells to just do that, because, you know, like we're not sound people or we're not DJ people. So, you know, just to get those sounds right and stuff. And, you know, thing provided the equipment. So I thought that was a really good, massive group, multi-ethnic effort. Hey, multi-ethnic, African ethnic effort. Isn't that like...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was a really good effort, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more from the Black Elite team in the near future.
Shout out.
What do you? Are you going to come to the next one though?
Next Monday, what's on?
No, the next one.
The next one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll make a time for that.
Okay.
No problem.
All right, so next up, we've got, you're going to tell us a little bit about this cultural dance thing you got going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's happened, people. It's really happened. So, yeah, as we were talking a few times, like on the studio here, I do start, starting dancing classes for sharing my experience of African music and African culture, traditional dancings and choreographies. So, yeah. Did you hear that word the way I say?
What did you say?
Choreography. That word always... yeah, sorry. That word is always twisting my tongue, to be honest. Yeah, whatever that word is, I'll put that way.
It is a choreography.
Thank you for that.
That's okay. You're most welcome.
Yeah, it's going to happen on Tuesday. So we are starting now, and shout out for the girls too. They, you know, like few of them showing up, and I'm hoping there'll be more, especially on the boys too. I really want the boys to be part of it. Okay,
so like the address, we might as well give the address out for that, because you're going to have your first practice on Tuesday from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Tiara Ho Hall Community Hall.
Yeah.
And basically that's where the flats are, on the corner of Daniel Street and... because they'll get it confused. You have to go into the flats. So, into the flats. So to access it's from Cardell Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of Cardell Street in Newtown.
It's right away.
It's right there. Yeah. So and you've got some girls already ready to come along?
Oh yeah, they are. They're up to it, and we've been having a few calls and discussing about things, and then the most. Especially for this one, we're only going to be just meet up first, get to know each other, get comfortable with each other, and see what's the reason of starting this. Because there's a lot we're gonna get from this one. I mean, including being fit for our own health, and also trying to learn things, trying to learn different cultures.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of cultural dances in your Rolodex of dancers in your head, right? Yeah, and basically are they mainly all Tanzanian based, or would they be?
No, I'll be mix it up.
Oh, you mix it up,
because
right.
I experienced also with a few countries like Kenya and South Africa, Ethiopians, Ghanaian, Senegal kind of music too.
Yeah.
So I'll mix it up, all of them, and I'll introduce also try to teach for the one I know. Yeah. And keep the meaningful how it is, because I don't want to take something else, but also be creative too.
And you'd also like to get some guys there, right?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome, man, to have people. But my goal is to show girls power. So I'm going to teach all the powerful dance for the girls. And when they get on the stage over there, Yeah, it's going to be good.
And see, like, I really like this because I like it when our cultural things are being taught by actually people from Africa. That's something that I'm just passionate about as somebody who's grown up here in New Zealand. I really prefer that myself. So, and yeah, I do. You know, like, to me, it just feels authentic. It's more authentic. It's, you know, like it's got a long history. You know, like you've got that depth of knowledge, you've got that experience across the continent. And yeah, to me, for somebody like me, it's like even, you know, learning language. I want to learn it from a Tanzania. I want to learn Swahili because, I grew up in New Zealand, so I don't speak Swahili. What I speak is broken Swahili. It's Swahili patois, and sometimes it's not anything at all. So, because you get really, like, at a certain age, you get really heavy with the language that you know, so your tongue gets really heavy to, like, pick up new things. So, I never got that opportunity, but I'd really like to have, you know, like that opportunity to, you know, with language anyway. Not dance, not anymore, but, you know, yeah. So, like, I think that's a fantastic idea. Yeah. And that's something I'd be 150% behind, you know, supporting. I believe in, you know, like it's authentic. Yeah. It's, you know, you're from Bagamoyo, you're from Tanzania. And
you do have experience. Yeah. Why not share with others? So,
yeah, exactly.
It's a cool thing to do.
So I think we might just go into our first song. What do you reckon?
Oh, that's pretty cool. What do we got today?
Well, I'll tell you. What I've got up here is this dude. His name is actually Kojo Owusu-Ansah.
Oh, yeah?
And he was born in Ghana and moved to Australia when he was 6. And he is the brother of Genesis Owusu. He's a Canberra-based hip-hop artist. His name's Citizen K. His EP Democracy was nominated for an ARIA Award for the Best Urban Album at the ARIA Music Awards of 2015. And his debut album, With the People, was nominated the next year in 2016. So this is Citizen K. Oh. And I think, like, this is a very appropriate thing because we're going to need all the prayers that we can get, because we're having a big meeting today and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about that next. So here's The Reverend by Citizen K.
Live in the world of sin, and I tell them that you've been sinning since the world began. How am I supposed to know who the hell to go and listen to when the same trying to teach me all just full of this shit? It's hypocrites, it's a little bit syndicate trying to fit words in his mouth of this little kid, feeling it's coming from the lips of the hypnotist, the Holy Ghost. I pray for most to stay so limitless, 'cause can't just walk on in. Now listen close to the reverend. You better listen. You better listen. Just walk on into the heaven. Reach into all the reverend. Listen close to the reverend. Capital sins, but they adaptable things for them. It's practical things, long as it's capital for them. Of course, ain't taxable. But what's the reason? Believing so a higher power, even thoughts of the power, the thieving, the poor giving, not receiving. Hopes that they're not even pose of human beings that never know the true meaning of holiness. Or is it me causing the thievery? 'Cause honestly, I'm just trying to give us the highest scenery. 'Cause can't just walk on into the heavens. Better listen close to the reverend. The reverend. All the reverend, better listen close to the reverend, the reverend. A born sinner trying wanna find my path, I bad then trickery, thinking the aftermath. Part of my history, it's all past the fact. Living in false victories, see the past, the lacks my mindset. It's one thing that I can't erase. One God is the people that I can't relate. Whisper in my ear with things that they translate. But how are we to believe what the past is? Like, man, can't just walk on in. Better listen close to the reverend. Can't just walk on in. Better listen close to the reverend. Break it down. Can't just walk on into the heavens. We're preaching to the reverend. Better listen close to the reverend. Better listen close. Can't just walk on into the heavens. Walk on. You can't just walk on in. I know you can't just walk on in. I know you can't just walk on into the heavens. The heavens, yes he knows. Yes he do. Yes he does. What? Lord. Oh Lord. Can't walk on in. Can't walk on in.
And that was The Reverend by Citizen K. And we're going to start talking about that other thing. Stop waving your arms at me, Modi. You're distracting me. No. I don't need the waving, okay? You're waving your head. Like, you don't know what's going on in the studio. Like, I'm trying to figure out, I'm working it out in my brain, and I don't think about things the same way, and I'm getting airplane signals from across the airplane signals, like waving the plane in. Like, stop. I know what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So today, what we're doing is we're having this big meeting.
Yeah, the big one, yo.
Yeah.
It's the African community meeting. So this is huge. I'm looking forward for this, to be honest.
I am as well. Yeah. Like, I'm looking forward to it. And also, let's give a little bit of background on it because, you know, like we've had this working group going since the 20th of December.
Yeah.
Right. And our whole purpose was to revamp the existing African Community Councils of Wellington. Yep. And we were all nominated at that first meeting on the 20th of December.
Yeah.
And I've felt like we've been under the pump.
Oh, it's been hell.
Since the 20th of December, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background. Yeah. So there was 9 of us nominated to be a part of this working group. Since then, there's been another arm of the situation sort of establishing. But I'm just gonna work on talk about today, like the working group, because both me and you are part of this working group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you jumped in there. Like, I actually turned down the nomination when I got nominated. I'm like, no, I'm going back on radio on the 9th. I know I don't want to do. And then I got nominated again, and I was like, oh. Okay, yeah. I'll do it. So, but we've been really under the pump. There's been a lot of work going on in the background.
Yeah, it's been a long ride, to be honest. And thank God, like some things have changed, you know?
Yeah.
We see some good feedbacks too. We see some bad challenging around on the way. But, you know, that's the life.
Yeah.
You're always going to have some bumps here and there. So,
yeah,
but everybody has a purpose, the reason why you're doing that. For me, I took it myself just because of my family, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a daughter who was born in here, who's Kiwi, but he's mixed, half Kiwi and half African. So you got to know, like, they have to understand where, in case of anything, they need to know what other side where they're coming from. Because she born here, she knows, she'll grow up, knows a lot about New Zealand, but she won't know much about, you know, where dad is coming from. So.
Right. So you're coming from that position of what's here that's actually celebrating African identity, you know, outside of the community.
No,
Or,
I mean, that's the part of it.
yeah, because I mean, like every all of our communities have their own little things going on, but we don't have a unified sort of thing.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So what did you mean by that? Like, because I'm really interested to hear, as because you're a parent, I'm a parent.
Yeah.
I know I'm invested, but my reasons for are you a parent, Onkia?
Okay. Not yet.
You got any African kids we don't know about, Onkia?
Nope.
I know why I'm invested, but I mean, like, why are you invested?
I'm invested just for my family, as I say, for my kids. That's what drove me, like, to do this. Because, as I said before, you know, I mean, you got a lot of, like, let's say, Pacific people, their community. They have their own different countries, communities, places, but also they got this one big thing about the Pacific people. I mean, where they can talk, make a decision, do, like, it's kind of like a, you know, good form of like a little government that can help around each other about, you know, the Pacific people. So I thought that, like, African, we got so many countries on there, you know, like more than 50 something. So why not us to come together and have something that, you know, even our family, our kids and grandkids later on, they will know, like, yo, we can run somewhere there if we want to learn.
There's some legacy.
Yeah, there's some legacy over there. And also, like, I think it's really cool just to have a place that, at least, like, you say that idea, you bring that idea, like, to have, like, building that we know this.
Like
African
a community centre?
Yeah, like community centre.
Like, because when I was in Australia and I heard about the African Community Councils of Wellington while I was over there, and I was of the mind, because it had such a grand name, African Community Councils of Wellington, it's such a big name, you know.
Yeah, it is.
And I was of the mindset that there was already a community centre established, because when I left New Zealand, it was 2006. So we'd already been through the organisation thing, where it was just like little organisation, the African Association of New Zealand, and there was other, I think prior to that, they had a People's Resource Centre, or African People's Resource Centre up in Courtenay Place. This is going back to the 80s, right? And, you know, I was of the mind that with such a big name, you'd also, you know, like, people had actually figured out that you've got to get together, you have to unify to actually find, you know, to how would you say that, to place your roots in this place where you are. You know what I mean?
And I got your point, which is really good one. And the more point is, like, it's making more sense when, for us, like, with the kids who are actually born here, as I said before, they need to, like, it will be good, like, to have a grounded area that they say, like, yo, we can run through this place and we can, you know, learn things or knowing things, or, like, as I say, like, there's a lot of culture to share for so many peoples. There's so many countries in Africa, and then to have something that we can all come together, that's kind of a little bit, you know. Yeah,
like our own physical place. Like, because remember today when we were coming to the studio, and I said, that's not just a church. That building over there is also a community centre.
Community centre, that's beautiful.
And it's huge.
It's good to see people coming together like that.
I think it's Cook Island Community Centre and church as well. So, and I know that, you know, back in the early 2000s, they would have a big, massive dinner with lots of chickens, and, you know, because Cook Islands really love their chickens. I don't know why. They have lots of chickens. And, you know, they'd have this salad called mayonnaise, which is made with beetroot. Yeah, and, you know, all the other things. But even people from the Te Araho Flats, which is just across the road, would go across there and you have a free meal with everybody over there. It wasn't a big thing. You know, like, even back then we used to do, there would be Diwali, there would be Eid, then there's Christmas. And in between that you've got Halloween. And so you've got all these, at one time when Eid was around, it was around the end of the year, like probably towards October, because you know how it moves back to the year.
Like a Muslim country.
So like in those years, in the early 2000s, it was very close to all these other festivals. And so you just go from one big feed to another big feed. That's what we did, because and I don't know why it seems so segregated now. It's like I don't know if it's because the community's gotten so big that everybody started to break away into their own little groups.
I think that's one of it. And also the other thing is just like I think most of us Africans in African communities, we don't tend to adopt the changes and share the experience for what you have. We really hold back. And then what I noticed for myself, because I experienced that myself too, when you move from one place to another place, like you move a country, let's say, like what I did, you grew up with the different cultures way back where you're coming from. And when you come to somewhere else, there's already a system with the different cultures that people who belongs there, who born there, that's the way they run things, you know? Yeah. And then, of course, you come there, you have to jiggle things to try to balance yourself between your culture you comes with and adopt other cultures from that place where you're about to call home or just to live there for studies or whatever, some reason you have.
Yeah.
And we forgot, we intend to go too deep in the other side. And then we left.
What do you mean by the other side?
Like means we adopt a lot about that culture or that country where we are. Like many Africans now, they adopt a lot about New Zealand system and culture, which is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good. You got to know where you are and how people, their system going. Yeah. But at the same time, I think it's good to embrace your things too.
Right.
And how you embrace that's where we talk about the communities. You know, like you see the Cook Islanders, like Samoans, they have their own communities. And once they meet together, that's the day they can be themselves. Yeah. They can embrace their cultures. They can, they can share things like, I know we are in the New Zealand system, New Zealand umbrella, but here is our day and here is our place where we can be us. We can brought in a little bit of island in here.
Yeah.
And that's what exactly I think the African we also do need it. But we seems like we forgot ourselves a lot and just relax. Everybody's busy with their life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Busy, too busy.
Yeah, because that's a really interesting perspective because, as an African New Zealander who's born here and brought up here, for me, it's kind of the opposite. Oh. It's like you grow up surrounded by other communities that are organised. Yeah. And you also approximate them aesthetically. You kind of look like them. So people just assume, I remember I would go to, different, say, agencies. Yeah. And they would say, have you contacted your community? And I'm like, what community? Like, what community are you talking about? I don't, your, and then they'd go back to, Māori or Pacific Island sort of ideas of what community is. And I'm thinking, that's not happening. It's not happening in New Zealand. Like I've had to grow up here basically being a person of colour, experiencing all the discriminations and all the difficulties and the marginalisation that other people of colour experience in New Zealand, but not having that community around you. I didn't really find it till I came down to Wellington and then got really involved because it was so important to me. And I think that as a person growing up here, I think that's what that seems to be a common sort of theme and idea or a feeling that you have as somebody who's grown up outside of your culture. You yearn for it. You yearn to be a part of it. And when it's not happening, you're probably going to be one of those people that, because I know back in the day, a lot of the girls that were from the same generation as me, they were involved with the African Association of New Zealand. They were the secretaries. They did all this work behind the scenes, and they had that experience of growing up in New Zealand. And I think that sometimes that's why sometimes I kind of feel like a fish out of water because you always feel like you're living that fishbowl life where inside the fishbowl, that's New Zealand and all the different communities and you're kind of outside looking at it. And so and you get that kind of misconception from other African people that might have arrived, in the last 10 years or something and they say, but you're a Kiwi. And it's like, hang on a minute, for somebody that looks and walks in my skin, there's a lot more, or there's a lot there's a lot missing that isn't here for somebody like myself. You know what I mean? And I actually think that if you're a parent and you've got children here, you should be thinking about these things. Yeah,
I think people need to do. I mean, they do need to think
because
about
it's not just it's to me, it's not just about having a functioning community where we're doing culture and everything, but it's also or festivals, or it's also about picking up those people that are being isolated in the community, that are alone, that are potentially suicidal, have mental health issues. It's about including everybody because
it's not easy to adopt something too. Like as I'm saying, like for the life, like I can understand where you're from too. Like it's really important. And it's very bad, like to feel like you are not belonging or you're not fully finished.
And yet you're in this country.
And you're still like,
this is the country that you've grown up in, but you don't feel like you belong.
That kind of thing that worries me about my baby, to be honest. Because I'm thinking like, what she'll be like, I mean, I know she'll get a good education. I know she'll get a beautiful country in here to be happy with, to be born on.
But she's going to be surrounded.
Still, like, the surroundings are very important.
She's going to be surrounded by other kids that have communities that they'll go and they'll be saying like, oh, we're going to be doing our festival at school, yada, yada, yada. And she's going to be the only one. You know what I mean? Like if we don't think about these things and step out of our own selves and think about, hang on a minute, well, let's look at the big picture. Where are we? We're in New Zealand. And like, I really love the culture thing. I really love all of that. But I also think, I also think there's a lot of other things that are specifically New Zealand things that are affecting African people in New Zealand that we also need to look at. Like the social issues and things like that. Yeah. Like,
I didn't thought about that.
Because I mean, like when I went to Australia, right? Because I was there for 10 years. When I went to Australia, that was the first time I realised I was a Kiwi.
Oh, right.
Like, or felt like one, because we have a specific accent that is very noticeable by Australians. So every time I say six, they hear sex.
Oh, really?
And so basically like our accent, and when I say fish, they hear fush.
Oh God.
Right? So it's really bizarre. Like, so
they're like really like a Kiwi accent?
No, their accent's different.
I mean, no, I'm talking about New Zealand. Are they have like really like you call a Kiwi accent?
Well, you're listening to it. It's my accent.
No, because I'm trying to figure it out. Like I thought, like the best thing about New Zealand is multiple culture. There's a lot you can hear, lots of accents.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out the Kiwi accent. I know, like those kind of things.
Oh, like, those are like colloquialisms, like little sayings and stuff. Yeah, another big word for you. Put that in your Rolodex there.
Yeah, I'll put that. I used to argue with that. Like, are you say yes or you say no? Which one are you saying?
Nah.
Nah. You see that?
And now there's a fish and chip shop in town called Fush and Chups.
Fush and Chup.
Yeah, because Aussies think that we say fish and chips, fush and chups. So like all of those little things like that made me aware, now I feel like I'm a Kiwi in an Australian environment. But in New Zealand, I've never felt like a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I know I'm a Kiwi, but you see what Kiwi is demonstrated out there all the time, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I think community is really important, cementing a community identity, especially a united front, a strong, sort of united front like that is really important to those that are invested in staying in New Zealand for some time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I know there's always going to be people in our community.
There's always. And there's the one who just come and go, and there's the one who just like, I'm making my life like, hey, hello, here I am, one of them.
Yeah, you're making your life here.
But you got to feel like really belongs to it, and you got to feel comfortable, and part of it is to have a best community. Yeah. I think I'm looking forward for this. It's going to be really awesome.
I think it's a really Kiwi thing to do too, because when I was in Australia, it was very different. Like, they're more like America. And I didn't feel like there was anything united. They're all about really, what do you call it? When you bring, it's like Americans. You bring everything you're American first or you're Australian first. But New Zealand is really open to celebrating diversity.
That's the best about it.
Yeah. And so, like, I'd often meet people of different backgrounds and, you know, like, if you ask the typical Kiwi question, oh, yeah, where are you from?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that question.
After greetings, that's the second question.
Yeah, because, I mean, people...
the first one.
I mean, people always ask me that. So if they ask me that, I'm going to ask them that back, you know what I mean?
Today you've been told you're Colombian.
Oh, yeah, that's my whole new thing. That's my whole new thing.
Oh, are you from Colombia?
And she was from Colombia. So I got mistaken for being Colombian.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'm from Medellin. Yeah, so, you know, like, I got mistaken for being Colombian today, which was like, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, I'm usually mistaken for everything else, but yeah. But
what do you think, Ogio, with the community thing?
Yeah, it does have a, like, I felt like New Zealand is really open, like diversity. It's like a melting pot, whereas like what we said earlier with Australia and America, there's the identity of being American and Australian is more emphasized than your background.
Yeah.
I think that's what I kind of picked up too. But
yeah, I often met people that would just say they weren't Aboriginal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They weren't whatever the other thing is, invader. So, and they'd just say, oh, I'm Australian. You know, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but, you know, like, you were asking me what I was because of the way that I'm presenting.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where your curiosity is coming from. What makes me brown? Or what makes me have curly hair? Or what makes me look a little bit like not quite whatever you think it might be? And then you want to come back with Australian when clearly I know what an Australian is and you're not an Aboriginal. So, you know, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And I'm sort of thinking that's the Aussie thing. It's very much like America. But here, yeah, we're a melting pot. And I think that, like, having strong communities, like, important to that.
Yeah. I really, like, I hope, like, we're all going to really build this and coming together stronger and make something big, you know. Even, like, to start small. Not everything's that huge. Just a smaller, because we're a big number in here. To have just even a small start is pretty good. And I think this is one of the steps. And I'm very proud for everybody who put their times and effort, you know, like to try to make this happen, to push other people, like even those who are not have confidence to say, like, stay on the side and just like, yeah, I'm African, but yeah, I'm waiting. You know, we all need to get out. We all need to do something. And yeah, I think that'll be awesome. Looking forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go to the next song. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about that next. I'm actually going to jump to this one because, you know, our co-crew member down in Cromwell sent me this one through.
Oh, yeah?
And this is hot off the presses, a Dunedin-based Afro-Kiwi artist. Okay, Dunedin people.
Wow. Hello, Dunedin.
Hello, Dunedin. I'm always fascinated when I hear there's more Africans in the South Island. I'm always asking myself why. Like, I'm sorry, mate, it's the mainland, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is coming from a strictly Afro-Kiwi perspective.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's a Dunedin-based Afro-Kiwi artist. His name's Z. He dropped his first music video earlier this week, and it's phenomenal. We fully recommend you checking it out. The producer, singer of the Voice Collective, with the aim of raising hip-hop and R&B to new heights amidst the drum and bass and surf, rock, heavy Dunedin scene, Karma's Bedroom takes a huge leap in the right direction. Oh, so wow. This is Z, and this is Karma's Bedroom.
Yeah, you told me do, re, mi. Everything comes together in harmony. All I want is some peace. Pray before I sleep that you don't screw me over. I just wanna go weak. This is why I stay inside. This is why I light my bed. This is how I sleep at night, knowing that our love is dead. I'm hoping you find closure for this. Your tears bring you closer to the ones that you miss. closer to the ones that you miss. Yeah, do you believe we can do this one more time? Already tried to be friends, that was a waste of our time. Hate that I survived with you. You made me lose my mind. I didn't see all the bullshit because love is blind. This is why I stay inside. This is why I lie in my bed. This is how I sleep at night, knowing that our love is dead. This is why I stay inside. This is why I lie in my bed. This is how I sleep at night, knowing that our love is dead. I'm hoping you find closure for this. Your tears bring you closer to the ones that you miss. I hope that you find closure for this. Your tears bring you closer to the ones that you miss.
And that was Z with Karma's Bedroom. Welcome back to the Black House on 106.1 FM. We'll just carry on with where we were talking about stuff. I mean, about the African Community Council's meeting today, which is going to be at 39 Webb Street at 4 p.m. And it's going to be on the first floor and you go to the back entrance.
Yeah, the Kiwi class, they're saying.
Sorry?
The Kiwi class?
Yeah, the Kiwi. It's called Kiwi class, the venue where they're having it. There's going to be refreshments and there's also going to be drinks. Not alcohol drinks. Don't sneak any bottles of whiskies into this one, boys. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah, there'll be the non-alcoholic drinks, and we'll be talking about the voting registration.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big pushes now. The voting. The registration for membership. Membership first, sorry. And it's in preparation for the elections, which are going to be at the end of March. Yeah. And they've got an interim working group trying to organise this all and put it in place. Yeah. And get a functioning situation happening in Wellington, because after all, we are the capital. And I think that we're missing out, the community is missing out on a lot of stuff by not having something that's functioning and it unifies all Africans. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's pretty good. And I think it's really nice, like people, we need to come big as we can, come to take this on board and just move forward, because I think, we miss out. We've been missing out for a long time, and then this is the time to take a step. Yeah,
so. I was really shocked when I got back from Oz. I was like, every person that I spoke to, because, and I'd say, so what's happening with the community? What's happening? And the first thing they'd say is, what community? There's nothing happening.
All I knew, for me, myself, I knew about the Africa Day thing. Yeah. That's all.
That's it.
That's all, where you can see all the African get together, and but we need more than just Africa Day, We need I
thought that Africa Day, like the Africa Day, even though it was a regular thing, I think that it wasn't including enough of our own African artists and performers and getting them up there. There's so many. I mean, we're showcasing them every week.
So the Black House. That's why, Leah, this is going to be time for a lot of changes. I believe there's a law is going to happen. And yeah, I mean, I saw that too. I think last year there was I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but last year I saw the Chinese dancer.
Yeah.
In Africa Day, and I was like, okay, so is it Africa Day?
Is it Africa Day or is it Multicultural Day?
Yeah. So, but if we call like Multicultural Day. For festive, then yeah, we can brought everybody. But when you talk Africa Day, like I saw Chinese New Year, you don't see any African guy drumming over there, you know?
Yeah.
You only see like Chinese embrace their culture, they're showing their music and stuff like that. And we just go there just to support and taste the food and see learn about their cultures. So I think, I mean, it's a good thing to share, but it should be official. Like if this is basically for African, then let the people feel the African vibe. Yeah,
well, even let African people be who they are. I mean, we can have, I don't see why we can't have culture, African culture, like traditional culture and stuff like that. And also African New Zealanders doing what it is that they're doing. I mean, we've got so many rap artists, Afrobeat artists, reggae artists, that could be on stage there. And traditional artists. You know, they've got all these artists and performers and talented people in our community. Why are they not up on stage? We need to see them, you know? And
also when we come to talk about like to have these basic buildings, there are things we need a lot. Like, you know, there's a lot of suicide. I mean, we should talk about this. Mental issue, you know, mental health issue. It's a big too in New Zealand because there's a lot of pressure in life. I mean, you know, the expectation of life. I mean, one of my friends, when he came to visit in Tanzania, was like, how can you guys just be and smile? Like you wake up in the morning and you all looks happy. You have no job. You don't know where the crew, what to do. I'm just like, because everybody here, their life is just too calm, too relaxing, that they don't tend to worry too much of the, you know, life expectation.
It's not the same pressures.
I felt that pressure too in New Zealand. I was like, geez, I have to do this, I have to do that. There's a lot of pressure that you can't relax. And that's why most of us amongst in our African communities and other communities, people they felt that. And we need to do some things like other mental issues and stuff like that. We need to stop isolate ourselves, just focus work, homework. No, get outside, do something, try some new stuff and meet together with the others, Africans and other community, and just like, you know, split out a little bit.
You got to have that work-life balance. I mean, I've only really understood that experience when I was in Australia because anybody travelling to Australia now on a New Zealand passport doesn't have access to the safety net of the state over there. So you don't have access to what they call Centrelink, which is, so if you get sick or you injure yourself, you're on your own. And see, a lot of Kiwis are falling through the cracks based on that law. And I think Jacinda Ardern's spoken a couple of times to, you know, Abbott or whatever his name, Scott Abbott or
Scott Morrison.
Scott Morrison, the other one was Abbott, wasn't it? Like, they had so many prime minister changes. It was a little bit nuts over there, but while I was there, but you know, like you don't have that safety net that will catch you, even though it is, you know, it does have social services like New Zealand. If you're not, and there's no pathway. Well, the only pathway really to becoming an Aussie citizen is if you go over there and pay for your visa, or if you marry an Australian and the Australian person you marry sponsors you. So there's it doesn't matter how long you stay there on the electronic visa, you've got no pathway to citizenship. So, of course, that pressure is constantly on to make sure you have money to pay your rent, make sure you've got all these things. And in a country like, you know, you can't exactly just start a shop in your front yard like you can in Tanzania. If things get real tough, you just, you know, buy up some beer down the road, stack it up, and you start running a bar.
It's a local thing.
That would be called the black market.
And here it'll be that way.
It'll be the black market, or anyway. You know.
So what are we going to address today in the community? I thought like we could just let people know about what we're going to dressing up on the community meeting today.
Well, we're going to be talking about they're going to be talking about the Constitution, because, you know, there's been a couple of things that we've had to change so that individuals have the right to vote. So that's that's one of there's other things that do need to be sort of addressed in the Constitution, but that's one of the things.
But
and also getting people registered to membership, so they're able to vote, because you can't vote if you're not a member. So that's you can't just sort of go, oh, I want these things to happen, but you're not a member. But we don't have to. People don't need to pay their membership fee up front. That's a really good thing, I think, because if you can sign up, then when you get the acknowledgement from the working group, who's just an interim situation at the moment to get things moving, when you get the acknowledgement that they've received your membership, then you can pay the membership fee. Yeah.
That's pretty nice. I mean, we're going to see a lot of changes in there, I'm hoping. And fingers crossed those going to be happening. But yeah, like I believe it'll be cool. Like all of us in our community, we can talk about other things like, social issues like drugs and alcohol addictions, domestic violence and stuff like that, suicides, as I said before, employment support too, like all these things people need to talk. There's a lot to discuss. So yeah, just show up, people. Like show up, because this is for you. Remember, this is for yourself. This is for your kids, your future grandkids, perhaps. So,
I think like thinking about it. If you think about it, 2 generations from you, what would you like to have happening here in New Zealand that supports all African people? And one of the things I would like to see, this is just myself, right? And I'm not speaking for anyone but myself.
Okay.
I would like to see funding rounds that are actually for African people.
Oh, right.
Right? Not whether you're just a migrant or a refugee, but if you are African, you can access this.
Yep, that's pretty good.
I would like to see that, because now we're getting more and more of us that their parents might have come as refugees.
Yeah, but the kids are born.
If you're born here,
they're African Kiwi.
You're African Kiwi.
Yep, that's true.
And it's about like owning that part of your identity.
Yeah.
Instead of like, it's tough, it's hard. I know that because I lived it.
Because you lived it.
Nobody has to explain that to me. Yeah. But, I think owning that part of your existence is really important to social cohesion. I think it's important to mental health.
It is.
I think it's important to just feeling like you're a part of something.
You belong to something.
You belong to something, yeah. You belong to where your feet are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about things like that. I think we've got a couple more minutes to talk. Have we got any shout-outs this week?
No, we don't have any shout-outs.
Yes, there is. There's an event tonight.
Oh.
There's an event tonight at El Barrio.
Oh, yeah.
Now this is going to be Rodney and TK's event at El Barrio's tonight. I think it's $10 to get in.
Yeah, I think between $10 and $5. I'm not quite sure. I heard about it.
Yeah.
On the Facebook too, yeah.
Yeah, it popped up. I don't have my phone out, but yeah. That's at El Barrio's tonight. I'm pretty sure it was $10 to get in.
Oh, right.
Right? So they're going to be doing their Afrobeat sound things down there, and El Barrio's is like 10 o'clock. Isn't it? 10 o'clock till late? 10 o'clock till 3?
Oh, yeah, they can go late up to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I've been there once, like that late with our friend, the midget.
Hey.
Sorry.
We don't mention that online.
Oops,
he's got to be in the studio with us.
Oh, yeah, when they're here.
We got to get the boys in here with their, they're doing so much work around Wellington.
Yeah, they're doing.
With the moving and the painting and the moving and painting.
Yeah. The bees, it's like, that's pretty cool to see them that way. But yeah. Let's hope things will be changed today.
So, so please come down today, 4 p.m. at 39 Webb Street. Yep. It's going to be level 1 in the Kiwi class area of the building, and the entrance is out the back. Now, I think that's about us.
Yeah, that's us.
I think I should close out this with one of these songs. What do you reckon?
Oh, sweet. What are you going to have now?
I'm going to have a full-on day. full on day today. Like we're going right. There's going to be like there's going to be food. I'm actually hungry right now, so I'm just want to get to the meeting.
Hey, Leo in the mood.
All right, I'm going to go to we only went through 3 songs, but that's all good. I'm going to go to our last song for the day, and I'm going to go out do this one for the Shotters. Now the Shotters are based out of Melbourne now, but they're originally they actually came from New Zealand, so we're going to still give them the Afro Kiwi label.
Yeah.
And they're made up of Zimbabwean-born and New Zealand-raised MCs, Highlights and Max Shotter. The origins of Shotters stretch back 13 years before finally coming to fruition with a unique Afro dancehall hip-hop fusion with their latest EP, Energy, released amidst Melbourne's COVID lockdown. Their latest single, Hold a Vibe, is some pure dancehall heat, and we're gonna go out today with the Shotters. You have a good weekend,
You too.
and we'll see you at the meeting.
Yeah,
and it's also with your Faso. Okay, all right.
Yo, Shotters, yo, Faso. One life, live it responsibly. Just remember to hold the vibe. Once in a while, just hold the vibe.
Listen, been a long year now. We look fun summer. Yeah, me and the team kick back and cool it. Smoke, push, drink up in the sun, and we have to link up with Shelly and Susan. Vibes up to the top when we touch the spot. Rude boy and the girl them lose it. Man a top class girls with the cream and the crop. Pretty dancehall queen, them a move it. It's a vibe when we ride. Strictly good time. No need to go fast and fight. Pass a move if you feel good. Go and get your wine or even electric slide. Let go of the stress. Get down if you're ready.
See you next week on the Black House.
Bring
a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it down. Body so live, ain't no turning around. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it. Been a long year, now we all the vibe, yeah.
I do not need clothes that are overpriced. Drink in a hand plus greens, me go hold the vibe. Find a pretty young queen, me go hold it overnight. Life is short, but the journey long, so I live in overdrive. Tomorrow's not promised, no matter how much you prepay. Sometimes just roll the dice. Enjoy the moment in life, do what you prefer. Indulge your favorite vice. Love to see the girls with good skin. Okay, whining contest I'm in. Hey, go and scroll your feet in your home with your lowered eyes.
Hey. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it down. Body so live, ain't no turning around. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it. Been a long year, now we all the vibe. Yeah, life been a block up for a while. Now, me have to break feel alright. Now, hold up, no, we taking flights. Now, it's a party in my city, all the vibe. Now, no bad energy coming all about the commotion. Get dance for me life, me all about the devotion. Get down with the vibes, so tell me what is your motive. Know me moving kinda funny, get the party back in motion. When I feel like we too done.
That program was brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Get your voice heard.
Thanks New Zealand On Air for funding accessmedia.nz.